The Dodgers have made Juan Soto a contract offer. Are the Dodgers serious about Soto? That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ryan, a parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers push back and have the championship.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Monkey magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor and subscribe to the #1 Dodgers podcast and show on YouTube. Head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and do us a huge favor, hit that like button. Every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live starts with the Dodgers Nation poll question of the show. And this is a tough one. We're going to talk a little Freddie Freeman Grand Slam. We had the anniversary, the 1 month anniversary yesterday. And I asked you guys over on the X, what is the greatest home run in Dodgers history? And right now, 28% of you say Kirk Gibson in 1988 off of Dennis Eckersley, and 72% say Freddie Freeman. Little recency bias there, which is totally understandable. I think other generations using the X platform, not as many people that were loving the Dodgers back in 1988, maybe right now, but still we're going to talk about that Freddie Freeman's home run, the Grand Slam heard around the world. But of course, every episode begins with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
And the hottest story in Dodger baseball is, it was reported by Randy J. Miller that the Dodgers have submitted an offer to Juan Soto. 5 teams have been confirmed to offer Juan Soto: the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays. And we know now that he's seeking a 15-year deal worth more than $700 million. So that's a contract that would break Ohtani's record in present-day value and overall value. And you're looking at the years, 15 years. Now, the big question now is, what did the Dodgers offer Juan Soto? What did the Dodgers offer Juan Soto? And how many other teams offer Juan Soto, right? Is it more than this? Are there teams that we don't know about? Some of these mystery teams. You heard the Tampa Bay Rays, right? Did the Tampa Bay Rays offer Juan Soto $700 million in 700 years? Something like that, right? No. We know that the major players are the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. But how serious are the Dodgers in their pursuit of Juan Soto? And do you want to see him in Dodger blue? Well, we know that the fans, on the polls we've run, the shows I've done, the posts on Reel, the fans, they don't love the idea of Juan Soto in Dodger blue. They think that it's a either or situation with Juan Soto and Teoscar Hernandez. Well, Bob Nightingale, who's going to be on the show tomorrow, he wrote yesterday, there really are only 4 teams that are seriously in play for Soto: the Mets, the Yankees, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Boston Red Sox. So 4 of those teams are the teams that reportedly made an offer, but Bob Nightingale did not include the Los Angeles Dodgers. He says the Los Angeles Dodgers just won a World Series without Soto, and it wasn't much of an inconvenience to drive through traffic across town and meet with Soto's agent, Scott Boras. The meeting helps perhaps drive the price up for Soto, and even more important, puts a little pressure on outfielder Teoscar Hernandez into re-signing with them. So my takeaway there is, certainly if you're the Dodgers, you meet with Soto because you want to take the temperature, see what he's after. And typically the way the Dodgers do business is they present you with a variety of contract options, and they prefer that the contract that you sign includes deferrals. Shohei Ohtani's contract is famously 97% deferred until 2034. And the Dodgers have reportedly already profited off him heavily over $120 million in his first year. Mookie's contract, Freddie's contract, even Teoscar's contract, they all had deferrals. That's the deferral way, the deferral Dodgers, right? The Los Angeles deferrals. That's the way they like to do business because it allows them to have more cash in the present to fill their needs. But I think that when you look at what the Dodgers are doing in this situation, it makes you wonder, did you offer him a 10-plus year deal, or is it more of the Bryce Harper variety that we saw in 2018? A high AAV deal that allowed him to opt out at the age of 30. Did you offer him $225 million over 3 years, $75 million a year, and then he can opt out after 3 seasons? Or is it even more than that, hoping that, okay, he's going to test the market again? I personally don't think that was the case. I think that for the Dodgers to get Juan Soto, it has to be 10 plus years, but he has the option of opting out after year 3 or year 4. I don't think that Scott Boras or Juan Soto would seriously consider a $300 million deal just in the short term by his standards. It just doesn't, it's not a lot of protection for him if something were to go wrong. I mean, $75 million a year for 4 years is $300 million. $75 million a year for 3 years is $225 million. Did they go that route, which a lot of Dodgers fans think? I personally don't think that's the case. I think that they offered him a deal that had to have been 10 plus years, that possibly front loaded the first 3 or 4 years of that contract, knowing that he's good enough to bet on himself and then re-enter the market when he's 30 and then sign another big time deal and then earn $800+ million. I think that is more likely. I don't think that the Dodgers would be taken seriously by Scott Boras' representatives if they were to offer him that kind of contract, a 4-year deal, even if it's a record-shattering AAV at $75 million per season. The reason why I think that is because the New York Mets exist. Because the New York Mets truly have, one, the flexibility right now to go out there and sign a big star. 2, it's no secret, Stephen Cohen wants to drop a bag on Juan Soto. Stephen Cohen wants to take Juan Soto from the Yankees. He wants to make sure he doesn't go to the Dodgers. He wants that superstar in Flushing, Queens. But I think for the Dodgers in this situation, I mean, it's not Juan Soto is going to break you. Juan Soto is going to ruin you if you go out there and sign it. Because the truth of the matter is you almost have to view last year's contract with Shohei Ohtani as if they almost didn't sign anyone, when you really think about it. When you look at the fact that not only did Shohei come to the Dodgers, it was his idea to defer this money, to defer 97% of his contract so you could pursue high-level talent, work at the top of the market to add premium pitching, to add premium players to help the Dodgers create a dynasty and compete for championships. Shohei Ohtani did that for players like Juan Soto, players like Blake Snell, players like Willy Adames, the top of the market at their position level players. So it shouldn't be any surprise that the most profitable team in baseball, that is selling out every game, that is first in attendance, that just won a World Series, that just made over $100 million on Shohei Ohtani, is making an offer for Juan Soto. It shouldn't come as a surprise. Now, as far as his fit, and we'll talk a little more about kind of the signing. I mean, look, the fit of Juan Soto is something that I think a lot of Dodgers fans have an issue with. And certainly that is something that you have to consider, because the truth is, though, I mean, look, Juan Soto isn't a great defender, and he probably profiles out as a first baseman or DH. But you look at the contract there, Freddie Freeman has 3 more years. If he were to sign a long-term deal with the Dodgers and opt in after 3 years, or not opt out, he'd go to first base. Also, he go to DH, potentially. Shohei Ohtani was above average as a right fielder in the NPB. So they would have options. I mean, they definitely would have options. I mean, there is no salary cap in baseball. No salary cap. You just have penalties when you go past the thresholds. And the Dodgers, they paid that luxury tax 4 times now, 4 consecutive seasons. And with Shohei Ohtani taking up just $2 million per year in cash flow, like I said, you almost have to think of it as, did they even sign Shohei Ohtani? Only taking $2 million in cash flow. They're making $100 million on him per season with sponsorships, attendance, jersey sales. He's paying for himself and then some. So think about this. What if the Dodgers didn't sign Shohei Ohtani last offseason? What if they didn't? What if they did trade and extend Tyler Glasnow? What if they did sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto? What if they didn't sign Ohtani and Ohtani was on the Toronto Blue Jays? Let's just throw out a team like the Toronto Blue Jays. What if Ohtani was on the Blue Jays? If that was the case, all Dodgers fans right now would be slamming their fists on the table saying, we need that big time mega superstar. We need that $500 million player. And who would that be? That'd be Juan Soto. So I think that's kind of how you have to frame this. I'm not saying they're going to sign Juan Soto. My prediction is he ends up with the New York Mets. I think he does. But I also do believe that the Dodgers are a player in this, and they've been interested in Juan Soto for a long time. They know that he takes this lineup that's already elite to all-time great status. That's the truth. Look, I mean, you can't say that you might look, everyone sees this chemistry for this year's team. There's no doubt about it. Teoscar Hernandez, I mean, literally, I watched the game recaps for every single postseason game last night for the Dodgers for no reason. And I think you forget the hits that he had against the Padres early in that series. You get the grand slam he had in game 3 that even though they didn't win that game, it set the tone. Teoscar Hernandez certainly would be great back in Dodger blue, but I don't think that signing Juan Soto precludes that. I mean, most likely you're not going to end up with both of them, but the truth of the matter is Juan Soto in this lineup, it takes this from, my goodness gracious, man. I mean, think about that. They're not even the Avengers. They're the Justice League. They're the Crushtis League. If you would put this group together. And let's be honest, the Justice League would destroy the Avengers. It's not even close. I mean, Superman could beat them all by themselves, right? Right? So the truth is, I mean, would Soto hurt? The Dodgers are rich, man. Rich. I mean, you're looking at $100+ million per year in tax penalties. It's going to hit them, but you make that money off of Shohei Ohtani. And the AAV does count against the tax tier where the Dodgers are at, but the actual payroll that they're sitting in is lower than a lot of teams out there. They don't even have the top payroll in baseball right now. So I'm not saying they're going to sign him, but I do think it's going to be really interesting. And I think if you look at it, Juan Soto would be a 10+ year player potentially, and Teoscar Hernandez is a 3 or 4 year player. So I still think that they end up with Teoscar Hernandez because of how much he wants to be a Dodger. You need an outfielder. You need a premium outfielder. I don't think there's anyone out there that makes sense outside of that. But I know all you Dodgers fans are freaking out because you're saying to yourself, man, this plan A is so exhausting. I'm so tired of seeing Photoshops like the thumbnail for this video you're watching that have Juan Soto in a Dodgers uniform. I'm so tired of hearing these rumors about Juan Soto and the Dodgers. The truth is, though, the team that you love, the team that just won a World Series for you, they have Juan Soto as their plan A. Their plan A is to see, can you sign Juan Soto? Because, yes, there's driving up the price, but I do think that that's a little overblown because you don't really need to drive up the price because you have the Mets owner and Stephen Cohen that's willing to meet his contract demands. Yes, you could beef it up by some million and you definitely get a dub that way. But for all those Dodgers fans that are freaking out about Juan Soto, how about this? That's the plan A, but the plan B, that's the most likely scenario, that's going to feel just as good. Because plan B right now, I think it's an elite starting pitcher. Blake Snell, could trade for Garrett Crochet, could sign Corbin Burns, could sign Max Fried. I don't think Max Fried's elite, but I think that you look at that group of starting pitchers, you're going to get one of those four. Roki Sasaki, hopefully they end up with him. Willie Adames, Teoscar Hernandez. So the plan B is going to feel great even if they don't get plan A. But if you're the Dodgers, it's almost malpractice as an organization to not at the very least go see what the best free agent this off. Imagine that conversation with Shohei Ohtani. Hey, Shohei, congratulations on the World Series. Oh, thanks. So what are you guys doing this offseason? You guys going after Soto? Nah, we're not going after Soto, even though you just deferred 97% of your contract. You made us over $100 million. We're not going to go after the top guy. So let's just run it back. It's not how it worked, right? The deal was set in stone that they would operate at the top of the market to bring the most talented players to this team. And let's not forget, the Guggenheim group that owns the Dodgers, led by Mark Walter, they have over $350 billion in managed assets. They know what they're doing when it comes to, should we pay the luxury tax? What does this mean as far as operating on the finances? They know what they're doing from that standpoint. So if they do end up signing Juan Soto, they're doing it because they think it's a worthwhile investment that's going to lead to multiple World Series runs and hopefully multiple World Series titles. So think about this too. I mean, Shohei Ohtani in year one has pretty much paid for almost 20% of his overall contract. This is an unprecedented deal. It allows you for this. So for Thanksgiving, I need you to thank a couple people. I need you to thank the Guggenheim Group, led by Mark Walter, Todd Boehly, Magic Johnson. This ownership group has really taken the Dodgers to heights that we never knew were possible when we were living in the Frank Rupp era with Frank McCourt. And then you also have to thank Shohei Ohtani, man. Shohei Ohtani for the contract that he signed. Because last year, if Shohei Ohtani just signs a normal contract, $700 million, $460 million present day value, something in that range without deferrals, yeah, you're probably not going to see Soto or this big offseason this year as a likely option. But because of that, you're going to see some insane offers. These AAVs with very high dollar amounts and not as many years. But we'll see. I think that Juan Soto ends up 15 years, 630, 660, something in that range. But let me know down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on Juan Soto and the contract offer? What do you think they offered Juan Soto? By the way, we got Tony Taters rocking with us as always. We got Noel Sanchez. He's in the building looking for your super chats. So definitely fire away down below in the comment section. We got a $4.99 super chat. I love Richard Flores. I don't even need to read it, but I know this is an anti-Juan Soto signing. He says, by the way, he says, $4.99. Appreciate that. Give you Let's Go Dodgers. He's out of his mind. 15 years. This screens about the money. It's about the name on his back. Once a Padre, always a Padre. He's Manny 2.0. $4.99 from Richard Flores. Hey, I hope that's what you like and appreciate and love about this show is that we can have differing opinions. And I'm not out there saying they need Juan Soto. This team won't contend for a title without Juan Soto. No, I'm saying you got to keep your options open and you got to take advantage of what you've built and the opportunities that you do have. So plan A is plan A. Plan B for the Dodgers is most teams' plan A plus. And that's what you love. Plan B is most teams' plan A plus. We're living good in Dodgerland. We got Will Lazar, $10 super chat. I do think the Dodgers go past 7 years. Even with opt-outs, my best guess would be 5 years, $260 million. Thank you, Will Lazar, appreciate that. We got Gus L. I wouldn't mind Soto to the Dodgers, but for the price, no long contract. Keith Potter, I was opposed to signing Soto, but if Soto moves to first base after Freeman retires in 3 to 5 years, then I say sign him. Look, I think Juan Soto is not too concerned about defense, really. And look, that's something to consider with Teoscar Hernandez, too. I want to point that out, that Teo as far as defensive metrics, I mean, you need a large sample size. I mean, really, sometimes as long as 3 years to give a good reading